What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of No Sweat Bets. Yeah, myself, JD from Line Movers. Got my main man, Joe, here from Lay Off the Juice. How is it going, man?
Dude, today is a really, really good day.
I love to
Time
hear
to
that.
work the right way. So,
I love to hear that. Yeah, today for me has also been going very well. Uh, I've had some big wins today and still have some games going on now. So hopefully, going to have a massive one here. Um, for this episode, we are going into the NBA Finals Game 1 and giving our best bet on Game 1. First, do a little recap of our last episode. My best bet lost, had the Yankees minus 1.5. They were up 3-1 in the ninth. Closer came in and gave up a run, so got hooked there. So that's always a frustrating loss. But Joe's WNBA prop absolutely smashed through. I believe it almost hit in the first half.
yeah, she had 12. We had the line at 12 and a half. Some books could have got it at 11, but we took 12 and a half for little to no juice. She had 12 in the first half, ended the game with 20. So, shout out to
Love to see
Kiki.
it. Love to see it. All right, guys. Well, yeah, like I said, we're getting into this. This should be a fairly quick show. If you want a full breakdown as far as this series goes, we have already done one. We actually put that out last night. So if you want to go to the channel, you can find that there. What did we go for about like a half hour? Um,
Yeah, about,
yeah,
about 27,
I was about to
24.
say, yeah, it was like a half hour of us breaking down as far as the series just as a whole. We both kind of, or we definitely gave our thoughts, but then as far as a couple prop bets, we gave out those. So yeah, if you want to hear our take just as a series as a whole, definitely go and check that out. Yeah, man, let's go and get into game one. Pacers at the Thunder. Thunder at home, laying 9.5 points. Total a big 230.5. Um, when you think of the NBA Finals, you know, you normally think of lower scoring games, that kind of thing. And you can
Yeah.
tell by this total here that that's not what this series is going to be. Um, yeah, I mean, like we've already talked about it, but yeah, to me, I mean, Thunder are clearly the better team. I mean, as you can tell here in game one, they're favored by 9.5 points. I do not see any edge there as far as the side, as far as with taking 9.5, or as far as taking 9.5, because that's just for me in the NBA Finals game one. That seems like a lot of points. With saying that, that's the only way I could bet it. As far as the Pacers, I just don't. They haven't played anybody yet quite like the Thunder. um, so I
The
think that
the Cavs are pretty formidable. Like they had the second most double digit wins in the NBA.
they
So,
are, but to me, they didn't play like their like regular season selves though.
oh, for sure. For sure.
So
Mitchell was the only one in like rare
yeah,
form. Like
yeah,
everybody else was whatever.
something
Yeah.
definitely. Um, so yeah, this is a game where, like I said, I don't see any value on the Thunder, but if I had to play it, that's the only way that I personally could. Um, but before I go any further, Joe, what are you thinking for game one?
There is absolutely zero way you could pay me to take a side in this one. Like, okay, see with the most double digit wins, but if you force me, I would have to take the Pacers. The reason being is because both of these teams are well rested. The Pacers know that if they're going to have any shot in this series, they got to steal either games one or two. So they know that. And I think their best bet is to, because OKC's had so much time off, there may be a little rust factor. So game one to me seems more, I don't know, likely to steal than game two. Um, I don't know. Like, but if they get blown out, I could see them still in game two, which, that's always an option when you're playing OKC. I looked at the box scores for the regular season when these two teams matched up, and I dug in deep. But there's only so much you can do when Chet Holmgren didn't play in neither game. Chet has been a key starter this postseason.
Yes.
So when you're looking at those stats, you're not comparing apples to apples. You're actually looking at a more hobbled OKC dominate a fully healthy Pacers team at the time. And now the Pacers have several injuries. Ben Shepherd, he's injured. Well, his point line is at 3.5, but he's the one who normally comes off the bench and guards the best of offensive play. So I do see him taking a stab at trying to guard SGA. But they're gonna have to come up with something. If I were the Pacers, honestly, when you're doing pace, the easiest way to slow that SGA is with a zone. Because man to man is not gonna get it done. You're gonna have to force the ball out of his hands. You're gonna have to run probably a 2-3 zone and make them beat you with the shooting versus a 3-2 zone where you give up the layups and points in the paint, right? Because OKC, they dominate with points in the paint. That's how they beat you. They beat you off their defense, turning defense into offense. Because if they pick you up half court, get a steal, now it's 1-on-1 transition or 2-on-1 because they're looking for the outlet. So,
And sorry, Judge, just to
yeah,
stop right there for a second. That is why we've actually talked about this, but that is why they are so good on the road. Is because that
exactly.
travels.
Defense
Uh,
travels.
so
Exactly.
as and I mean, like, and also them not just shooting a bunch of threes. Like that's not the
That's
main way
not their game.
they're right. That's just not their game. So there's why their offense also usually goes on the road also. But
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
It's a lot easier to score a layup than it is a 3-point shot.
100%.
Just just based off efficiency. Like it travels because it's so efficient. That's why it works. The other thing is the matchup advantage. I really don't want to take a side in this one because I want to see what Turner and Siakam does against Hartenstein and Chet.
Yeah,
Because in my mind, Hartenstein's gonna beat out Turner as far as like technique, positioning, stuff like that. But then Pascal is way too dominant and physical for Chet. Chet still doesn't have his grown man body. Like, and
right.
Siakam is
Uh,
the damn captain of the boat now, damn near. So,
yeah,
dude, I think uh just to jump into one of the props that I have, being that I just said his name, Pascal Siakam, 7 rebounds at plus 110. I really like that. And I do notice that he has not had more than 6 rebounds in 6 of his last games. But the reason why I like it is because it's a new matchup. It's really hard to get a rebound against Karl Anthony Towns, right? It's also really hard to get a rebound when your game plan is to push the pace and run down the court. So he didn't stay under the goal for rebounds. When you're playing OKC and they score so efficiently, your game plan has to be limit the offensive rebounds. Because if you let OKC get offensive rebounds, it's night night because they score way too efficiently to give them second chance points. Carlisle knows this. When I looked at the box scores, what I noticed was neither team had more than 10 offensive rebounds in both times they met up. And they both clearly had well into the 30s, close to 40s on defensive rebounding. So both coaches are saying, get back on defense. Don't worry about the offensive rebound. Limit the other team. That's the clear strategy. Um, I don't see that changing. That's the only way the Pacers are going to stay in this game is if they limit OKC field goal attempts because OKC shoots a higher percentage because of where they shoot. So they have to limit the field goal attempts. The second thing they have to do is they cannot give up points off the turnover. They can't do it. Halliburton just had one of the most important stats that you'll see. He is one of one, I think, for a 30-point game with 0 turnovers. Like that is insane.
it is.
That is how you beat the OKC Thunder. You cannot turn the ball over. and everyone has to dominate from an offensive standpoint. They're going to. I've heard a lot of podcasts and people talk about how they're going to force the ball out of Halliburton's hands. I actually think the opposite. I think that they want the Pacers to do something that they've never done, right? Which is make Halliburton beat you shooting. He's a pass first guard.
Yeah.
He does not like to shoot first. If you flip the script and make him shoot, now the rest of his teammates aren't involved, right? And if they're not involved, you're not going to have an Aaron Naismith find a rhythm with 1 minute left and hang up 5 3-pointers in a row. Like that doesn't happen if he hasn't been shooting all game. You see what I mean? So I think the exact opposite on what a lot of people are talking about. So
I hear that. Guys, for me, it almost seems a little too simple. It's probably honestly the most square play you're gonna see here. But full game over. I like know that this total is high, but when you look at the pace that these teams play and how they score, it's really not that high.
it's
Um,
not.
and if you've been watching what both of these teams in like the playoffs have like done, they've both been using pace and they've both been making shots. Then if you go back to their like regular season games, it was the same way. Both of those flew well over.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of expecting more of the same. To me, honestly, the Pacers, I just don't see them stopping the Thunder like just like whatsoever. The Thunder would have to have a very off night. Um,
But they're at home though. To have an off night at home game one, I
right,
just don't see that.
correct. So that is why I'm on this. And honestly, I think I mean the Pacers, they try to push the pace with like anybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Thunder just kind of roll with that in actually game one, because they're better at that than actually what the Pacers are. And then we've seen it time and time again. If the game is close, well, that's when that defensive switch can just get turned on for that little stretch of time, and then they can get that 12 to 15 point lead just like that, and you're like, whoa, what just happened? Um,
Fun
so
fact. When I
right,
was looking at props, just to mention what you were saying, the OKC Thunder are number one defense in transition, which is a lot of the way that the Pacers like to score. They love to score in transition, and OKC, they're the best in the league at defending that. So just a fun
yeah.
fact.
Um, so as far as the Thunder team total over, I mean, yes, I like that, but honestly, like I said, I really think in game one here, I think it's just an up and down game. And I think that the Pacers can also score enough points here to help us get up and over this, or the Thunder could just completely go off and them carry like actually like most of this. So those are the kind of game that's how I'm seeing game like one go. Um, and then we can adjust from actually there. Um, but yeah, there's what I have here, guys. Um, Joe, do you have anything else here?
The Pacers are a better team on the road.
Yes.
And just fun fact, they have not lost a game one or two this postseason. So in all three series, they've won games one and two outright. I do not think that continues to OKC. However, that's just playing on my thought that they know that they have to take either game one or game two. They cannot go home down 0-2 when they're a better road team. Like that's just a recipe for disaster. Carlisle is a very good coach as far as like making adjustments post game. Whereas was it Dudenhauser or the Thunder's coach he's a better halftime adjuster.
Yeah.
If you look at the third quarter as far as OKC and what they do in the third quarters, it's pretty much a playbook straight out of Golden State where they dominate you in the third quarter. So if you guys are looking for a live play, that may be it. No matter if Pacers are up or down, doesn't matter.
I was about to
OKC,
say
dominates that third quarter, man.
If the game is, I mean, actually, like if like the Pacers are like leading, then yeah, it's just a no brainer play
Yeah.
as far as third quarter. But even if they're up, but as long as it's still semi close, then
Like
like
a 1 or
that's
2.
there's still a play. So
Yeah, like a -1 or 2, I'm still
oh
gonna
oh
win.
yeah yeah
Like,
yeah like
um,
honestly anything better than like -4, like actually I'm gonna play. So
yeah, love that. Love that thought. Um, the other thing is basically my best bet is Aaron Naismith over 11.5 points. The reason why is because when I looked at the spread and the total tells me there's going to be a lot of points put up, right? When I look at the spread, 9.5, that says there's a ton of value on the underdog. When I looked at the underdog, dang near all of their props are 1 to 2 points lower than their season average. OKC's defense is great. However, this is the most rested they're going to be to start the finals. So in my mind, they know that they have to steal games 1 or 2. I'm adding all these things together and I'm seeing a ton of value on the props on the Pacers. So my best bet is Aaron Naismith over 11.5 points for -110. I think that is an absolute steal. In this position, far as like all postseason, he's averaged 14.1 points per game. Very efficient scoring. He's cleared this line in 7 out of 8 games in a situation like this. So I'm gonna ride with what I know. I did like Andrew Nembhard over 11.5 for +102, but I'd rather lay the -110 with a guy that I've seen do it over and over and over. And he's also a better 3-point shooter. So and it's the same point line. So give me Naismith as my best bet.
and I do got to plug something. As far as him, we also have a series prop. When I
Yep.
just him, I believe it's at we got it +450.
450.
So if you're looking to find a series prop at a good price, definitely go and check out our finals preview. Guys, as far as my best bet, I think everybody clearly knows that it's actually going to be the full game over here. I just went into the reasons why. Um, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. This is one that I am definitely ready like to actually watch, um, just to see how they do play it out, to see if they played out the way that I think that they are.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's going to be interesting for game two as far as what the lines are actually going to be. And then at that point, it may be time to switch some things up. But yeah, that's something that we're just going to have to wait and see, though.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, for me, that is it. Do you have anything else?
No.
All
Like,
right.
yeah, that's it.
Well, everybody, you will be seeing us again soon. And until then, I hope everybody wins all of their plays. Yeah, Joe, take us out, man.
Like my boy DJ Khaled said, you either win with us or watch us win. Either way, let's fucking win, baby.
Let's fucking win, guys. Later.